Welcome back, everyone. We are surrounded by wildfires. Thankfully, nothing is too close to us, but we are worried. It's very dry. There's lightning in the forecast with a little bit of rain, but definitely emotions are running high because we're in the woods. We're surrounded by forest fire fuels, and as much as we've tried to clean out our area, there's always a risk. So today we're going to be making sure all of our water tanks are stocked up. So we have two that we've been using to irrigate stuff. We've got one over by our meat birds, one over by our front yard where we're watering the garden. And as you know from our other videos, we have a solar pump that pumps our water. But because of all the smoke that we've had lately, it's not doing very well. It's not quite getting enough power to pump the water. So yesterday there was a little break in the smoke and we got maybe a quarter of a tank of water coming in, but it's just not quite enough. We have two empty tanks as well as the two that we've been using to irrigate, and we want to get all four of those filled up. We want to get our cistern full as well so that we have as much water as possible. We're going to be taking our U-Green portable power station. It's a 1200 watt power station over to our solar pump, and we're going to be hooking it up to run off of the DC, and we're just going to pump the water continuously. We might hook up the solar panels that come with it so that if there is any chance of some sunlight and power coming through, we can get that power into the battery pack, and just the more water that we can pump, the better. So we're going to get the quad loaded up, get all of our supplies, and head over to our spring box and get that water pumping.
Can you do a curl with that?
No.
It's 25 pounds.
An upper row.
Do a couple of them.
Okay, so to be pumping our water, we're going to be using this Power Green Power Roam 1200 watt portable power station. This thing has a 1024 watt hour capacity with the Life PO4 batteries, so they remain in a healthy state even up to 3000 cycles.
So the reason that we're using this instead of the panel that we have behind us is because our panel is set up for when the sunshine hits the panel, it runs a pump without a battery. Now that works great normal times, but right now is not normal times. Our entire province is on fire and we have a humongous risk in our area. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using the U-Green to continuously pump water to our home. So we're going to use both of the 200 watt panels that U-Green provided us with to charge the battery, and then after the sun either disappears in the smoke or goes further than where the panels can absorb the sun's power, the U-Green is going to continue to put out 12 volt power to our pump to pump our water all the way up to our place, and we're going to fill all of our cisterns that we have in the area to do proper irrigation for our defensible space around our home.
So in our situation here, because it's fairly smoky, we're gonna set up the solar panels, but we're not too sure how much power we're actually gonna get from that. So the cool thing about the U-Green power station is that it's so lightweight and easy to move around that we can come back here when the battery runs out, take it home. It's gonna charge from 0 to 100% in about an hour and a half, and then we can bring it back out here to keep pumping more water. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get everything we need for today at least on one battery, but we do still wanna kind of water the grasses and stuff around us, so we're gonna wanna pump more water tomorrow, and I'm expecting it to be smoky. So it's really great that we can just take this home, charge it really fast, and then bring it back out here.
So the Power Realm power station actually is able to, it's a 1200 watt inverter in it, but it's also able to run 2500 watts. So you can run heavy duty appliances like a frying pan or an electric kettle. Obviously we're not doing that on the hillside here, but it does give you an opportunity to run something larger than 1200 watts. Also, it has an emergency function that if the battery is down to 0, it has a, let's call it a reserve tank, like a motorcycle would have. It has a reserve bit of power that'll let you run the light for about 7 hours, or you can charge a phone when the battery is completely dead. So it's just an extra little added feature that if you need to charge a phone, say like in an emergency, or you needed a light, U-Green's got your back. I don't think this is meant for this.
No. Probably just lay it down.
That'll be all right.
One thing I think that's really cool about the U-Green company is that they send MC4 connectors with the power station. So some of the other competitors have sent proprietary cords so that you can't hook up a regular solar panel to the power station to charge it. But the U-Green can actually take 400 watts of solar in, and you can just hook up a regular solar panel with that. $26 watts, 31, 36. $100 I think it's still kind of climbing too.
Yeah, it's got
Takes a bit
shadows
of time.
on it too in different directions. I mean, there's a lot.
0 watts now. Oh, it's full now.
Okay, it's not gonna charge when it's full either. So because I'm hooking up to a system that we have existing, I have to jimmy rig a cable. So this is a 12-volt car outlet that is going to go to this line here. I'm going to turn this panel off so that stops right there. Katie, is there any way to bring that closer?
I was actually just thinking the other day, because someone on Facebook had written a post about how if their neighbors had green grass right now, they're terrible people because they're using all this water and the firefighters need it and all that sort of stuff, which I get. And that really just shows how nice it is to be self-sufficient with your water. We don't have to worry about anyone else using the water or someone else not getting enough water. We just need to worry about us getting enough water, and we're able to do that by monitoring our system. And of course we want to conserve as much, but we are responsible for our water, and it's a good feeling in situations like this.
Probably gonna have to turn on the 12 volt.
70 watts. All right, we are pulling out 70 watts. I think the last time the solar panels were on, it said they were pulling in 100 watts. So we should have 30 watts left over to actually not even be used at this point, because we do have enough power coming in to run the pump. But as soon as that cloud of smoke thickens or a cloud in the sky covers the sun and we can't get any more solar charge, we've got a full battery here to continue pumping the water.
It's 1,024 watt hours.
Yeah, so this says it has 12 hours, almost 13 hours of pumping based on the 70 watts that the pump draws. So,
which, when we pump about 55 gallons at around a half an hour. So that's a ton of water. So we got to get back to our place, make sure that the water is filling the different tanks that we have around.
I think the last few years have been really showing us how prepared we need to be for emergencies. Because I don't know about you, but I feel like we're just getting hammered with emergencies, whether it's flooding, crazy windstorms, fires, huge snowstorms where people are blocked in for weeks. What is going on with the world? It's scary out there.
Hoping it wasn't bear schleam.
We're also kind of noticing it's not as dry here as we've seen it, which eases our minds a little bit. I mean, it's still dangerous, but we've seen much worse earlier in the season. So we're really just hoping that this rain comes in a few days and we can get some moisture back in the ground.
There we go, a half a kilometer away. 70 watts pumping this far.
Since that tank has a little bit of water still in it from the other day, we're just gonna empty it because we know that we're gonna have enough water coming in today. So we might as well just water that grass, make sure the chickens have lots of water. Then that grass will get some moisture in it and we'll be good to go.
Completely.
I know.
No. Shitty. That sucks.
And of course, one of the most important pieces of equipment that we have here has to break.
It's not broken, it's just a wheel.
Yeah, the wheel has stopped working on our fire pump because we've been carting it back and forth between the two tanks, but Greg's got the muscle to get it over there so we can get some irrigation done. And we're about 3/4 full on our cistern as well, so it'd be good to get that topped up too. All right, we've got a full tank over there. We've got half a tank on this one. Still going. It's going a bit slower than when we have the solar panel itself hooked up to the pump, and I think that's because it's just what the 12-volt lighter plug gives out for power, or can handle for power. So we're slowly getting there. We'll get this one filled up tomorrow. The nice thing is that the sun is going down, but this is going to continue to fill until that battery runs out, and then in the morning I'll go pick it up, bring it back, get it charged up, and then take it back out to continue pumping.
So we got about 750 gallons of water yesterday with the system that we set up, which is great. The battery died last night, which we knew was going to happen. I'm going to go see how the battery is looking and how much it's been charged after a full day of charging today in a very smoky landscape. Hey-o. 64% is really impressive. Now, this unit usually charges in 4 hours with full sunlight with the 400 watt panels, which by the way is the max capacity you can put into this. Pretty big capacity for such a small unit, but 64%, I haven't even seen the sun today. That's 64% charged after the clouds covering all of the sunshine. So I'm really impressed with that. So I'm gonna go fill up some more of our tanks, and 64% should get us probably another at least 300 gallons. So that's perfect.
Well, fortunately, the rain has hit us. We didn't actually get any lightning, which is really nice, and it's been raining quite a bit. I do want to mention, though, that even though it's raining, the ground is so dry that it's kind of hydrophobic right now. So I'm going to kick the dirt and show you how far down the water is actually penetrating. So even though it's been raining for a little while, the ground is still very dry. The fields in the forest are still going to be very dry, and we're not quite out of the danger zone just yet. We're going to need a fair bit more rain before that happens. But we have 3 full tanks of water, and our cistern is full now too. So we are super happy and grateful that the Ugreen Power Roam power station enabled us to continue pumping water even through the smoke and the night. It just goes to show how useful these power stations are. If you wanted to check them out, we're gonna have a link down in our description. I'm pretty sure these units are on sale right now, so there's never been a better time to go and check them out, especially with all these emergencies happening around us. It's super important to have some power backup because you never know when you're gonna really need it. And yeah, with that, big thank you to Ugreen for sponsoring this video.